Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful people, the Earbook family. How are you? I hope everyone is okay. I hope everyone is lovely. Just want to say thank you so much for your support. I'm seeing it there on Spotify. And yes, I gave you a beautiful episode, which is a previous episode, of course, episode number 36. Just to recap on it, I was talking about hygiene. But before we go there, let me just give you a warm welcome. Welcome to the Earbook with Buffalo Pacha. So this is episode number 37. Keeping on episode number 36, can give you hygiene. I just hope my mates and you enjoyed the episode. It was a lovely episode, and it was a bit of engaging, and I got some responses there and there. I hope everything is sharp. Yeah, sharp. Keep yourselves clean. Thank you so much. I'm giving you a beautiful episode today, and it's a lovely one, and I'm so blessed and thankful for MPD Studios. Big ups. I've got a guest today. A very great guy. I brought him here because I know Otlontelaka Tawatse Sharp, and he's got so much to say and only information, and way better than that. I mean, Valley, 18 So yeah, thank you so much, and let's welcome our guest today, Teboho Mosala. How are you, my guy?
Hey, man, thank you for having me. I'm good.
Yeah.
Libitso la ka ke Teboho Mosala, and yeah, ke hla Valley Nation 18 moyeng.
Danko.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be on the Earbook, and yeah, I'm honored. Let's get the show.
Hard. But anyway, you don't miss Kasi though. Like since you fell out, oh, you miss Kasi?
Man, I miss Kasi. I do miss.
Yeah,
the township, and the community at large, the society, the family. I do miss those
most
people.
important, sure.
So, yeah, man, I can say I do miss that feeling of a Kasi.
Yeah. The reason why I go to how miss Kasi is because I just wanted us to touch the topic of community well-being. You understand? Mm-hmm. And of course, some people will ask themselves, okay, what is community well-being? So community well-being is the combination of social, economic, environmental, cultural, and political conditions. Mm-hmm. So just to make it simpler, like that explanation, what we're going to talk about, it's more about kokasi, experience kokasi. Hence, I guess most of us remove it because of span. Yeah, so it's because of Msebeti. So obviously, thola experience entcha but ntse re tseba go kasi re tswa teng, and hona le experience there is something that we know from kasi, and ra bona gona le difference between mo plomanteng no le mo re tswang kasi.
Sure.
What can you say is the main difference we noticing all from like the town or maybe let's say estate le kasi?
Well, no, thank you for
based on like life, like the way we live.
What I can say from Kasi to the big cities, I can just call it the big cities. So, there's a lot of differences that I can pinpoint.
Sure.
One is the lifestyle ranking. In the big cities, life is too fast, as you can know. Yeah, and a lot of things are accessible. There's a lot of things happening only more in the city. See also there are a lot of things happening out of
Yeah.
Most of them of which is the feeling of a community, to be inside a particular society. And not necessarily when you look at the lifestyle, obviously the lifestyle is different.
Exactly.
Sure. So you need to maintain a certain quality of lifestyle. You need to maintain that Kasi standard and lifestyle.
Yeah.
So also part of, I don't know if maybe the opportunities in that in the cities we do have like a lot of opportunities. We have jobs, you have a lot of things happening. See there's like we're limited.
Feel like things are limited.
To a particular exposure, if I can put it that way. So, and then Tatsakasi, Kasi I like it. Kasi umnandi.
Mara kasi umnandi.
Yeah,
Kasi
there's
umnandi.
always
Yeah,
an
yeah.
experience yakasi emnandi, and
Too
there's
much, sure.
yeah, and also the feeling yawa in the big city where life is moving, you change from the person you were, and
Sure.
you adjust to the new things that are happening into the big city, and part of that is moving from Kasi to Hiso, and then adapting from to the big city to then accommodating the standards of the big city.
Yeah.
So that is very, that's the difference in guys putting out. You disconnect from Kasi, you connect to the big city, and also you adjust to the opportunities to the big city.
Yeah, and Skaubu about adjusting and trying, like, obviously what change from how you were Kokasi to
Sure.
your new self more down. I think we need to be careful in terms of changing, because over that change you can change in many different ways.
True.
Kokasi over ile ole Teboho this Teboho bamtsiba. Then oya go town, you spend your life maybe for 6 months or a year, you come back. But now we need to see okay change thing because I feel like there are so many changes. Understand? So and because I know, like you say, town it's very broad and it's very dangerous also.
Yeah.
Because we're and Malimang mind business.
Definitely.
You understand? I just want to look at like you say, it's limited. How to get shop or and then or maybe the whole day. Next week. Have you ever experienced the thing you are just because how unless we are go taverning or or I am shop because it's limited, you understand?
Yeah.
So that's why hence we told her udula katlu. I tshwane le go town.
Town vele ina le ntho tse patso ka di etsa.
Yeah.
Le mara le teng a se re bua ka financial lifestyle out chaka. Town is expensive, and it could lead to you being limited within your resources. So if you una le chankura, town vele it's a place to be. Mara if you usna chankura, it's a problem because a lot of individuals are depressed and things like that. It can be lonely at times.
The competition is too much.
Competition is too much. Yeah. So, but Kasi, the nice thing about Kasi, it's just community, Joe, and like taking it up from how we grew up.
Yeah.
It used to be a nice feeling. There's no like a lot of things happening, and we are happy within the limitations. They are being brought up by that environment.
Yeah.
So a lot of how that Josie as we grow up, there are a lot of theories that we develop. And like, but what see this and this and that. And but what Josie this and this and that, but we need to understand, or we need to disconnect at some point. Disconnection it's good, but you also need to go back to they say it raises what a child, it raises a village, a village.
It takes a village.
It takes a village. Sorry, it takes a village to raise a child. So, but then the problem is after raising that child, now that child is in the big cities. They forget about the
village, where they come from. Yeah.
So now a lot of opportunities. That's why you see that a lot of opportunities they are available in the big cities. Why? One reason I can state that is the fact that if you're in the city, there's a lot of opportunities because the government is focusing more on improving the lives in the city because a lot of people are economically involved in the city.
Yeah.
But then how you can see there's the total party it's all about the government is not focusing more on the people who are not economically involved.
And talking about the government I focus here ko kasi. On all this thing keep on like a video in a trend something happened ko I think it's Davidton. So one of the informal settlement it's ba iketsetsang tsona like ba be ambo mikuku ba bona ba ipehela fela. So apparently these people or that community I get they saw ababana in terms of electricity and water. So it seems like they made a plan for themselves and then ba kenya bodipalo but beno iketsetsa ke tseba ba thuso ke ma go bena le mtlakase mfethu ba fitile ba raider the residents fitile o khathwa la escom fitla e khatha isinya mfethu in a trend re video ga mona ke ba khatho apparently se bana le mtlakase ba iketseditse
Sure, because
no so
obviously
light
you have to like survive either way you have to make the means to survive.
hape wa tseba and the worst part rona ko kasi wa tsa ko kasi mona ba ngata mtlakase
Kasi you have to survive.
mtlakase wa tseba kasi ya mfethu o patala mtlakase le bo metsi
Sure.
understand ha patala ntho tse ding like kasi ntla ntho tse ngata di free hape maybe that's why re leng comfortable le kasi understand because ntho tse ngata di free like free ha o fitla go town o fitla go di estate o so bona difference go batsani ai ha o so hlapa ka so tla mo time di giza o so tla
understand
o kala wa change anyway I feel like you are forced to change based on dintho tse life etsa la wa bona go di units in fact o no sa di tsebe ntho tse because when was the last time o le kasi o reka mtlakase
and until we buang it's very profound. Why I'm saying this kore whatever about I just wanna let me just try to keep work whatever theory ntse ke tshwere mara ke dintho fela tse ke nana o di a etsala
sure
young professionals wa graduate o tswa kasi wa move to the big city wa lebala ka kasi. That's my fear. And then in the process you move out from kasi wa disconnect the whole society ya kasi. You don't support the people in the community. That you are not involved as a product of you going to the university and you working in the corporate. So you completely forget. And this brings about delays in this thing. So you in terms of education and knowledge, with whatever resources still ranking the young professionals, you don't go back, you don't get involved in those people, you don't improve their lives. So if you can get an opportunity already to go in the neighborhood and start improving, like I said, it raises a child to it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to raise a child. So Rona, what happens is we forget that the same village is the same village that brought us up to be who we are. And that makes it more difficult because that's why it's because we develop a mindset disconnected from Kasi. And that also, like I said, the government focuses more on infrastructure, of which you find them in the capital cities. You don't find a lot of, but to Wakasi, and they do, and once obvious, there's no the opportunities, guys. And because of the fact that after you've made it in life, I don't say you need to go be a millionaire or something just to come back to be a product. Even with whatever you've studied, your degree, you need to deploy it bokasi. The community engagement thing, the forum, the organizationing, and take some time to educate the very same people that brought us up. I understand. And you find that a lot of people in the neighborhood, they lack a lot of knowledge. I wanna the raiding that happened. Those people were illegal settlers or things like that. What happens is if we are how do I say this? We go back to the informal settlements and educate people, or no, this is not how it's supposed to be done. We don't have to do it this way. And we don't have to go there, just to educate the people. I feel like there's a lot of, these disconnections makes it impossible or not practical for us to educate the people in the township. Because Rona, obviously, there's a separation between people who are in the city and people who are in the township, and that causes a disconnection. And that there are a lot of things that are disconnected. The knowledge that we have, we're not using it to benefit the society. So that's where I'm coming from. Or if we can, even if you are a product, you are a resource, whatever you've learned in the city, you don't have to now. Obviously, it benefits the city. That's why the government is looking into the city, because he wants to make you happy. That's cool. But then what happens is Kasi, we no longer have the role models, because where are the role models? They're in the city.
But ba sitting ko kasi Asian fit ba life ya bona.
Yeah, that's
Let
why
me just make an example of kasi aka na mo ke tswang teng. What I've noticed ko kasi is that people ba se ba focus more into again ba rata pizza 18 hours moyeng and all that. So the main focus is clothes, that side, like clothes.
Yeah.
And ba bo di bola ba bona like when ba le bo ditlapong, because la o kena mo social media la o kena mo social media wa bona whatever e trendang from the hood, from kasina mo ke tswang teng o trenda fela ntho tseo fela o to trenda bo diaparo, batho ba buang bo diaparo, o to trenda bo majwala a turang wa bona
straight.
It's rare o tlo thola mo so hlaile something fela o ya hore ya educate ya or ya inspire
ke ntho le ranking batho ba ishebe
it's rare, so hence
18 moyeng
hence ha o fitla mo town o khona o bona ntho tseo tse buang tse sa etsang tse sa di bone kana wa di bona mo town. You can see majita a push. Let us talk, like for example the podcast. What's mo kasina mo ke tswang teng podcast I can't even mention one podcast ya go vale ke la reng ke itse. I'm not saying hadiyo maybe tem, but wa bona bontsha hore a ke itse e1 shows hore hadi ngata. But you come to the cities, how many podcasts do you have? Because we see kid opportunities, you can push and all that. And ska ha no bua ka taba ya bo community and what is this hona le wa bona ba di bitsa not homes, but tse mo ba thusang bo bana ka bo diaparo dijo
the program yana tse
di I think tsona mo ka see like but ba di etsa mo ka see they are spana and ke ngwe ntho tse le gore ntamle re dinkele hlong, like we need to support those things. So le wa bona le yona the ebook ne ke ina le this initiative ya donate school uniform for bana ba hlokang
and get to shop
into a grand
because rebuild a vele that young president in the
neighborhood. And I'm not saying that things ka ocho I hloki nyung. I don't have like chelete, I don't have, but it's something ke khonne we qala and we qale ngwaka ka thola support. All I said was ke kopa le mfeng uniform e sa sebedising kopa just donation, then ke ve ise ke se ko that home, and then ba khone o fa bana and ba teng and ba appreciate that support.
Sure.
Hence ke re some people bona they can move from kasi ba town ba etse new, and when they come back instead of ba thuse bona
ke ntse ke batlang vele o twela o yona hore that's why I would tell her you say black people don't support black people. No, I just want to make it about black people. But when I get to if maybe I don't want to make it like I'm talking about situations like black people and black people. Sure. Sometimes it was situations when you come back into the townships, into the rural areas, a lot of black people won't support your product. And they won't take you into consideration because you're not doing anything for the townships. When you come, you want to exploit the townships, of which is something that I can even see the politicians. This is a mechanism that they use. Or when it comes to those election times and periods, what they do is they go back to the townships, they act important, and they want to say, no, Black Lives Matters, what. They want to involve them. But after the election, it's a done deal. We'll see you in the next election period. So, and not only that, so I'm talking about the society, I'm talking about the middle working class, those who moved into Joburg, or may not even Joburg, cities, more moved in day. Just because I'm saying Joburg because and then there's the government that needs to be involved. So how do you then see the role of the society, see the role of the township itself, and see the role of the middle working class, and see the role of the government? So if you are the product of the big city or graduate, you're a young professional, you go back, you help the township. What's the responsibility of the township, the community, or the society at large? Is to preserve maybe the infrastructure, the what you call the, like for example the grounds, the fields, the parks, things like that.
Thank you.
The building, what, the
that's
streets,
part of community well-being.
The streets and what.
Kila di bona di park tsa go ka se di jwang fithu. Majita no la di lini da.
Basenya.
ba lelekiswa le ke batho ke CWP.
Yeah, man, I'm starting. And let me tell you how the system works, the way I understand. It's like now, Oklahoma, in your complex, the landlord is taking care of anything. I want the bills and the rates and what, because the individuals are taking care of his property. But let me give you a situation where you guys start to be hooligans and you don't take care of the property. What is he going to do? He's going to cut a lot of things for you. You're not going to have a lot of access into a lot of things. Or it could be worse in a situation where he's no longer involved. You guys are just paying the rent and then he's neglecting the place.
Yeah.
That's the main, another mechanism that the government is using. He's not deploying capital into the neighborhood, because a lot of people are saying, why do you keep on injecting cash? Recreational facilities, they are a mess. The school system, the infrastructure of the schools, it's a mess, because another way, we and us, and also let me talk about the role the people who moved into the cities. To be a role model, to be a mentor, to teach young people in the townships. It's our role to do that. We don't need money to do that. We can be involved in all of these community engagements, the organizations that help that young person, help that young woman who says, you know what, this is my situation. And tell you what, the role models are see, where are we? Because we have moved from the townships, and us in the big cities, it's another question. Or what are we doing? What are we achieving? Okay, we can be working. It's good. We're neglecting the fact that there's a township that brought us up, and then we're connecting with the township. We're moving up. But when you this is ways, because how if you die, if you pass on, and it doesn't even make sense, because you can't even take some of the people, let me not say some of us, support some of the people, you can even see it with the lifestyle of celebrities. When they pass on, they have nothing to show up for that, and their family members are stranded to say, how are you living in the city?
Yeah, wa tseba kuna dula ko kae ko toropong.
How are you
come back
living?
o khutla o so le siko, o khutla o so sna, like value, you've got nothing to show
For that.
Do you understand? Like how bonale nje wena o no dula o no dutse toropong, o no duletse nda.
It's the very same mentality, how disconnected from the townships and not helping the townships and expect something better to come out of the townships. People who can just, the settlers, the illegal settlers, I don't know, but now if I'll do the same. I'll make a plan to live, to survive. Because again, it's like how stretch a budget. If the government is stretching the budget on the townships, but in the township there's no like economical activities that influences back on the government economic system, where like there's money that those recreational facilities they're bringing back to the government, and now it's a system working together. You find yourself, the government inject too much on the townships, but then there is no like, because a lot of people like now, it's not like you're better just because you've went to a university or you've studied this and this and that. What makes you, what you qualify for, what the system is, to get a job, to do that. But we leave behind those people bakasi, and we expect them to be bad. That's why today a lot of people who are in the cities, it's like it's a self-hate thing, to hate Tsalang Township. That's why media is always showing hey mara, they always show body, it's on the raid there. Like, hey, when you put not even black people, when you put people into townships, they waste this and this and this. And then this is another cycle. This will continue forever and ever, to say whenever you put a recreational facility there, there's opportunity, and a little opportunity today. Those who are, because too much. Once somebody this is what I've studied, or maybe this is what I know, and this is how it works. And people adjust to the knowledge, to what the system requires them to be. Because now you find that in terms of knowledge, so there's a disconnection. people in the township, they have a particular way of practicing things. And now how to allow Sheba, okay, we have moved, it's 21st century, we have moved from a lot of different practices.
Yeah.
Now we are moving forward, but people in the townships are still applying the very same methods. That's why I told her, when you come to the cities, it's like the violence is there, but it's not like as most present as it is in the townships.
And
because it's those mechanisms that people still use.
Talking about the violence and crime also.
Crime as
what
well.
I noticed in Kokasi, I was there like this past weekend, and then and over frustrated and we get, you understand? I'm gonna ke batla chelete, I batla withdraw zaga, you understand? I'm looking for an ATM. So last time I need to go so no ATM near mo ke dulang teng wabo.
Sure.
How mvet ha sa le o etsa etseng go to ATM boom. So now I'm struggling to how na ATM like bela mo ke a botsa. So guys, how wetala if le batla chelete le withdraw jwa like le ba o jeta le bo le tlamle ba e hole le talking about walking distances.
Sure.
I'm like wa bona no ke bona difference ke wa bona town mfethu town mo ke dulang teng ona le ATM da ona le ATM da ka se mfethu o sokola ntho like you are struggling mfethu so and also I feel like sometimes when we explain such things especially to people maybe they'll think that we're now so whereas no, it's not that. Remember the experiences we experience experience bophelo ba town. So town it's fast but dintho tsa teng di more accessible, you understand? Butsotsi ska ocho buteng gara but o ke se tshwantse le bakase so tsi bakase mfetu too much
just because very obvious and to available fela ke tipa ke bona tipa ke na motho
mfetu another thing in worishang I'm sure like everybody knows, I'm sure when you born or notice and more body town or body estates but what thing abani like they don't drink most of them they don't drink tap water like khona just so no ametsi purified like so fa le wa reka wa understand koka simfethu yo kuyabona abaso ichunde and that's my waro how fitla bodimolong tsa kokasi how you told that stonyana se samo ba purify ba paisa mo metsi o ka bona ka ke kwa bo dimolong o di shopping center tsa kokasi tse mo my 2 or 3 o ka fitla o sa ithole le ding mara mo taono wa dithola and wa bona batho ba ngata ba di sebedisa
take it chong kore the government is deploying zaga more than like
but yeah, I mean, shop, I think it doesn't like there's nothing to do with the government. I think government I don't think yeah na install shop I mean
mama le hape le mentality le mindset. If you learn, let's say you are an investor today, you have an opportunity there's a land go where you want to build an infrastructure, maybe it's a complex or what. You're faced with two choices to either go build in the township or go build in the city. Now, obviously, township is influenced by the corruption, not even corruption, but
sure
the behavior. But we have that mentality, and you believe, once I can invest. If I can build an infrastructure more,
after 6
it was Maranga builder in the city. I know there's like what you call there are rules and there's a practice. But we don't. But also, the raid. I just wanted to come back to a point. And stress. You know why in stress? And the government can. I don't know who kidding red ends. Red ends are
but never spending Escom
because it's linked to Escom. Okay.
I think red end government
sure. Something like that. But also I don't want to sound like only the foreign nationals diploma, which was wherever you go there are foreign nationals. So the government has like that thing raid but the illegal settlers. But they cannot do the same with effectiveness when it comes to illegal settlers, but down.
Any town, especially I choose it. South Africa.
So there's like another concept. This is bringing up. Or now we say these people they are settling illegal. Obviously, they are. Busy. But then there's the same thing that's happening in the towns where we have like foreigners who are just
le bona
undocumented,
ba ntse ba tshwana le yeah
and they,
bona ba mo town
so there are a lot of things that are happening, and I don't think this thing is treated with same effectiveness or with same treatment. So that's another problem.
Like
but also,
okay,
sure.
Another thing that ke batlang just maybe re discuss like re bona or like dintshanga. I think maybe when we kile wa notice. Have you ever noticed go community go kasi ne the shop tsa teng like body, let's say KFC's Shoprite di shop nje o bo sheba le shop tsa body town o shebe like service because no tse wena I guess blame it, there's nothing to do with the government. Ke batla understand why mo hole jwalo o go sheba ha ka reka. I'll make an example of KFC. Ha o ka reka KFC ya ko kasi o ba reka KFC ya ko town ka padisa ba pung. I don't know, like honali difference. I think the effort like ekentsweng. No, I'm being serious. I am. Le service too. Le de go attend on ka day. O go shebele bo ntse jwang. They matter. Le tsona body shop right body. O go shebe o shebe le maintenance tsa day. Wa bona maintenance bo shop right ka se o kena ga ba bona man. It's there is a possibility of to shelf o thole nama e covertile yeah mara e ya go town ka pasapo mo dulang batho ba mo leng green ba etsa sure everything is going thongwe it's in order so o tla ga I feel like a re hlomphuwe why batho ba dulang kwa ha but ntho tsa bona di great why would I go bathata
but and it's like unke public school township wonka public school endawo njozi utobona treatment ka ke private school enhle the way by settling gateng mo town ka re ke private school and that I don't know why all is jwalo mara emona re hula maoto when it comes to the township activities
gona mfit kara who relax too much mfit na ke iputsa bane I'm asking myself why ape ska re buile go dintho ape di limited mfethu ntho tsa casino I'm like especially at the shop na di shop ya stress wa bona no stress wa ke ya di rate na stress wa ya di shop because ke tholo re kopana like now and then
no like wa bona mfethu ke ntwe so le batho ba belo ranking ba owner bo di shop ba owner bo di mall ba owner bo di complex they're looking at the lifestyle ya guys and they're looking at where are we going to benefit because batho ba ka se bana saka if you tlo hloma mall there if you want to put a private property in the township then you are headed for
a
loss because it will disrupt the infrastructure kasi the way really wired ka teng ko kasi mara how we be ka here there's a hope because it's in the city we talk about people who are not more civil. We think they are more civil because baploma bo ndawo and then bakasi re ba etsa di monster ke di hooligan tse etsa di tipa tse tlo re hlaba tse ba shimane ba but also it's like I'm saying we etsa so it's a ke mentality le ranking o hodiswa ke township ha o qeta o kena dikolo o qeta o tshwara ntho tsa comba N1 ntho tsa di ba shapo kwena o le jalo so phila life here in the city wa lebala ka moketle ka so ha go tea ke out ya o tsele yona wa disconnect completely and then at the very same time o batla ka si o gutla ka si be le betere o sa bone
mara wena
but so that thing what I believe it la metsa le gore every motelo ranking ha ke tsebele pitsa di middle class ka body working class let's just go back to those township o be resource either way ka zaga but ba khona lo invest abokasi mona and I believe there's a lot of opportunities in the townships. It's just that hey mona we have a different mentality when it comes to the township. Hey but or hlaba ma how ka it's so tlo tsela ntho tse le ranking it has a negative appearance, if I may put it that way, and then in the townships, in the city,
like anytime soon, like that thing, but maybe picture there forever.
And a media keep on before spotlight, but what they don't realize town here. And it happened like batla bua ka bo corruption or mamela ma councilor ka se a kenyana kere mona tshwara moketleketle kena tshwara sabata kena tshwara o be le councilor la kae ha ba qeta ha ba etse di-service ha ba deliver akere government o thole go le ena o na le budget. There's a budget that the government has, and then he injects that budget within the townships. Le hape o na le budget for the cities, but I think he has more budget when it comes to the cities, or because now they have a potential already bring a child, and then they're looking at servicing the working class. And then the service mole. That's why you find that the service that you get in the township or in the rural area, it's very poor. I get maybe the salary competition. If you shaba, but was spanang shop right, bakasi, baholab guy compared to what was spanang kamoga.
But you salary ya differ, like yabu.
I get there's a possibility. I get. Kira total buyer ya differ because of the viewer na Leonaka. And my problem, Joe, the government listens more to the working class who are paying tax. If the working class can go to the community, lead the community, lead the society, and then raise those points, or government and so it's not working in the townships because Rona Arbon is pana. That's why I told her about Hawamova. They find it. So now stress is a thing, but then it's because what the system is creating, it creates a move out of gas.
Yeah, talking about that, Pela, Ugila Udavele, Ukoshe, outing like Ntumulumu, Hakala, Atulabum Civica, Papa, and Civizans Alecas. To appeal to you, go Asian for one of you gas. Casubata, like Obatobali, but Babatobali gas. And
Artola family Taronada. Rutlela o ruta batho rutlela wa di role model tsa kasi ntwe re shebile nko matisa phelo ba town phelo mo town ntho di etsa bone. That's why bona hore town the corruption the minister di what di etsa mnate because a lot of buildings in the cities are old buildings. Only new functions there's no new activities the government is focusing on inject chelete but then ba mole they building these other other facilities. Mara when you go to the township le rona e re le kasi mfeto ona le di organization tse fuang chelete kasi already cater for skilling people up. What happens kore batho ba involve a ke re le bakentse ba mketleketle go lo sa o apile jalo nkile chelete mketleketle ha etse ntho tse sharp and hape ha lenka le batho I don't know if it does happen, but I feel like if you have an opportunity or lo sebetsa kasi, let's just say there's a work opportunity or apply lo spana kasi, there's a branch lo ranking is the very same company mara lo spana kasi, and then there's another opportunity or that very particular branch in a branch mo town o geta spana kae o tlo town because lifestyle kasi ha pela so spana o le kasi go bona ka ro tlo ba ntweng e sa tlala, understand? So it's those differences that makes us to neglect the townships, of which is something that we need to look at and say, you know what, how do we go back and build our townships, because these are the townships that that brought us up.
Kamona like ska obona bo le bona taba ya load I hear sometimes you console go ba utse ba utsa bo cable go kasi mara ba utla bo sa ba pumbo di ngadiyo la identsi. So do you think it's a matter of security, because obviously go ka se ke na le transformer na le, and I can only bona bo di vene tsa ma security ke na le bona eng tsa ba ka tambo di cable le bo di but on top of that bantse ba gona utso di cable ba etseng ferfe the very same security system o di bone ko mo tsa wa pongo mo di state mara o sa shatwa cable ska ha shatwa kwa but sitting security. So is it a fault away? Do you think my security like security whatever the corruption like
corruption is a very bokasi, because like in the organization in city charity taken to ma because of ntwa kasi man le gona batho ba kasi se re ba le botso batho ba hlaba batho ba etsa le hape ha o qeta hore government e qeta ho release di-funds for a certain function ba tlo hlahisa the bad side of kasi, because ba re hey batho ba sentse eng ba entse eng ba sentse sekolo kae tšho gore la o ka apa tšhelete kasi o le councillor kapa o le eng o tlo ikwala ka gore you know what kasi the people in they are wasting, they are destroying the facilities. That's why when I bona gore o le councillor o ka apa tšhelete easy wa bo le ka there's still the very same thing of corruption. There are the funds that are injected into the capital structures, but then the problem is now you won't see much of a difference, because this is a well-established structure. Because it's running, it's functional, things like that. The only problem I keep on the foreign settlers, the government is just keeping quiet about that. I'm not against that. It's keep it to our own. I'm just being African. When I get African, we are all Africans. But to be honest, there are a lot of things that I go back to the society, the middle class or the working class, the government as well. Everyone has a role to play. If we want to fix the situation for real, we need to educate people in the townships. Or hey, moketle ha o robe bana wena o sena mosebetsi ha o tswi
mfethu ba be amataere ka dikontiring wa chesa
ha o chese ntho le re o sebeletsa at the end of the day. But I know that is like you know, a political move. It's a way of, you know, raising awareness, or I want you guys to listen to me. Those are practices. Maraukasi, they are very popular to do such things. I was just, and I believe that we need to go back to the townships and build them. Just being role models.
This king difference in ana e tlhwang ke notice ene ke batla like le wena we bone wa bona ke o kila bona how kena like let's say you from you are driving o drive from town, you pass at Sabapu and then o tlo kena go kasi differences in so notice o tlo bona like o lahlelwa bototi like everywhere go kasi and then into transport ke like truck ya toti e teng kasi mfethu ya fitla di jareteng maybe every Wednesday every Thursday it will pick up into mara kasi ha mfethu hona le toti strateng hona le then down all thing the very same transport load it teng truck e yona e pick up into but bao they are obeying the rule. Ha no bona dintho fela di tletse next time motho aba makala ne ke mo jwetsa ntho se moleke next time o bo makala motho a ploma go tao ha tla go kasi aba glow was sometimes I would lose the chelete no like serious how do we see you I feel like life we like the way more linte phela o tsa le botote dutse mo fela ka ine qeta bua ka metsi o go pa bua bo metsi ka da metsi a gona there are a lot of things that go etsa go tlowe because go kasi mfethu we are exposed to ntho tse pine ntho tse wrong.
Now taka kwa tlo re lo ke ijike dai go re fela le rona ha re lo thusa kasi the way di mena se re tuta mona the mena se re tutileng tsona the way o philwang ka teng in the cities the way lo ranking system re you know re adjusted to the system. Let's take these things back to the townships. Let's employ these things in the townships. Let's go become role models. We don't do this. Education is very important. People need to be educated, need to be skilled. But anyway, if there's a wrong wrong, they are living within the resources available out here. I'm not saying they are right or wrong, but I'm just saying out here. For you to survive, you have to do everything that you have. You can do whatever you want to do to survive.
Yeah,
you can.
Like for the sake of surviving.
And also, but I do blame them. I do blame us. I do blame the government. Because now, the facilities are totally damaged. Government has said again. Government was hlapile matsoaro wa tseba keng kai tsentsa dintho a tsatla dikena because ke la ka di etsa and then
batho ba ka ke sentse skolo ke yentse eng ke fitile da so go etsalang because ke na lo bona ke la bona something wa e bona government ke ntse effort mo like e yentse paka gore o dlalwe bana ba be right to be safe and then aba qala ba senyana you can also see government mo e sa dikena gore I not taba go etsala because ya notice batho ba man ke lo le ka ga di
the same park ntse una le di-park tse operatang bo town okay gale di operate gale ntse di functional. It's just that ha ona motho a kang a qubula stand ko o sa senkile lo skalisa a etsa ha ona motho a kang but di a etsala, but it's just a section na what I see ko town. The problem e rena le yona ke batho ba lo ranking ba occupier town mara illegally, so the foreigner ke bona lo ranking cause a lot of disruption of the systems to go town. Other than that, a lot of things are happening, but people believe in more civilized way of dealing with things. But then ha re re batho ba ka se ba civilized re re fela bona ba senya ke batho be lo ranking they do have, but you won't blame them.
Okay. You remember at that time ya kaneneleng ya di looting emna ka sono lutu I was there, I remember lutu so on all this area ba ibitsang Walkerville, just Johannesburg South after passing Southgate Mall so that ke ka diploto like o tletse mangamla wa bona di pleke ngwe phodile go shaka mago, but black people are also there mago dominate like mago wa bona. And I saw my brother would do that side. I remember I asked him that time wa lutu mo kasi mfethu ka ra wetsala because ka mole ka tseba di facilities tsa teng di ntswe mbuso. I was thinking of yo ka ra ba lo senya mos wa tsa go bala ya ntse mfethu ka hi mangamla vile nthuane ba ndeli nya o ka ka itsuwa ga thunya ga and azang ba luta ono lutu emona o lutu mara that area nje Walkerville ha ba fitla next o thuma ngamla itse batho ba tlo lutanyi gona ga thunya emona ono operate sharp, everything was fine. That's it nika ga ona looting.
No, Rona, we owe it to ourselves to go back to build those townships. If we don't do that, our townships will forever be our townships the way they are, because we are neglecting them. We are saying, I cannot go back to the township because of such and such and such. But if we can mobilize and go to the townships and just go back and show some love, show some respect for those townships that brought us up, and reconnect with the people and try and be a product and teach them the way so that you can build the next coming generation.
Yeah.
If we don't do that, if we don't have that mentality of going back to the townships, and if we have the mentality of saying big cities are more important, and there's an easy life or there's an easy way of living in the city because we are avoiding the problems at the township. Let me tell you what, the spotlight is always going to be in the township.
In the township, yeah.
They show that the people are not they are not civilized, they are hooligans. It's always going to be those headlines, or in this case we demonize those people and we make them as if for this is not the way to live, but we are not using our resources and to come back and say, guys, can we help? Guys, can you do this? And you only find out that after you've graduated, you are the only hope in your family. But when our hope was somehow you're in the city, you forget about coming back to what you can do. Some of the kids growing up, they want to see you part of their life as a role model. You are not there. They only hear about you. Hey, you must be like so who and who just moved out of our house, the lifestyle, or how does he carry himself, things like that. But then so there's a lot of disconnection. The physical infrastructure, we destroy them. I don't know that mindset. I don't even want to entertain them. Or if you're destroying the very same facilities that you will be, using the next time after the riot,
you need to benefit from.
That is just like, I can understand. We cannot be continuing with that. And I see, I'm not, I don't want to be concentrated because get a politician. It's but I'm busy on, and I just want to say, but also with the financial side of Leronaga, financially we need to contribute to the family members, and also by helping them, by being available, by being present, financially helping them.
But that's an obvious thing. I feel like
it's something you need to.
Once obviously at some point
especially that is something that the disconnect between they call them the academia, the elites, and the scholars. There's a big and a huge disconnect, because these people, well, they have the qualifications, they have this, but where are they helping the townships with those qualifications?
They don't.
Are
I say,
they
you know,
using the
it's
products?
all survival of the fittest. In fact, how to like us see una qualification, ulwanela wena. Ke ntho ba tseba yetsa. Motho mo mo tsule ka si obviously a sa batlo ipona o itse fela a sa khutlela la. Ntho e ke e tswetseng ke lo lwanela nne tse di lwanela nna le family ya.
And then obala le bthata kwena o lo so rekisa di t-shirt so re local brand how to support ba re ngwanaka a ke re o rekisa ntho tse tsa o di rekise kwa town ko ska tlo rekisetsa tsona
onale another issue like in terms of community well-being transportation, like o go shebe transportation I think it's an issue taba transportation. Ke notice go ko kasi wa tsa go nka phone o kene ko app ya Bolt o request en fait ona ithola o ha ihlaya hey when I took about the what's up Bolt what's up kasi bit ene o ka Bolta maybe o tlo hla A1 ne go hla ko lo A1 ha ihlaya how it click maybe 75 rand the man what's o eketsa price o lata message ga go wena it's going to be 120
the potholes the what
I get it ke nana ke le go mo distance because whatever someone told me again but jotsa riding no man maybe the man ona ne pleke ngwe yong yona zone yong yona or whatever ai the man nkisa ka there so ke sa tsebo le ona is it the right thing Bolt ona e ringa batho ba hemvet ba iketsa mo di chelete ene because ka taone o sa bapung when we request di hla di le million da ene ona mtatlo batlang extra charge next ka su hla iwane o ga we told total
ejo our mindset go graduate, move from the neighborhood, move from the townships, go to the cities. So obviously, if you have money, like I'm saying, like I've given this example before, if you have money and you're an investor, you'll invest where you feel like people are more civilized, according to the society. And then you find out there's like limited facilities in the townships. Like a lot of companies are investor in the townships. It's only those few but shop right.
Yeah.
So that shows what are we saying about the people in the township? Do they deserve to like live like that?
Because ways imagine na kujwetsa ka simple thing ATM. What you know abasatla yetsa ATM kada like because akere ba ibom and I bongwe yuan sekanga te bong. So they think potsogo no ho tlwetsa la eng ka taba yeo ya batho ba batla ntsha chelete. O shebe no I read body once every month. O shebe di once every month. Ne jwetsa le majita ke wa bona ho le kasi ne o batla ntsha chelete. Let's say nna ke re ke tswa booking. If ke batla ntsha nyoko ile month end. Tlamle ke ka bo 3 rivers. Wa bona. Na tlamle ke palami ke 3 rivers. Reason being I know queue ya ATM or and the very same ATM Capitec bank. Capitec ATM so ha o fitla da o tlola ba itri. Da 3 river da. Mara ya ATM ya kasi. O fitla o tlola o ka ema almost the whole day. O le line.
No, the resources are being used. Who the so-called civilized people, our very own, townships, people will forever experience the shortage in terms of other facilities.
Yeah.
Because now we believe we've demonized the people in a way that they destroy the infrastructure, and this goes back to like even to our young people, like the learners in classrooms. How destroy furniture but wow.
Katlasing. Yo, why say you so
we're teaching them or you must destroy. If someone doesn't listen, you must destroy. If the government is not saying you must destroy. But what I'm saying, we all have a responsibility. You can, here's the thing. I've given this example here, the politician, as they go back during the election period, but most of the time they're absent. Lerona, we do the very same thing. We are in the cities, we're working, but then we only visit maybe December, things like that.
Yeah.
People they need to be educated. That we need to educate the people in the township. There are people who don't have the opportunity.
As a responsibility of government.
Yeah,
it's our own responsibility. Like you say, we have to be responsible.
We have to be responsible and go back to the townships and say, guys, we can assist. We don't have money, but the knowledge that we have, this is how things are working. And also, if the government can see that, you know what, we are, every young people in this country is involved in developing the townships.
Yeah.
And now that will alleviate the pressure in terms of how much the government should inject into the townships. Because now people are well educated, people will know how to take care of their infrastructures and things like that. So it takes everyone to work on us building our very own townships and rural places. It's not for us to judge the people who are living in townships and say, hey, this and this. Of course there are no opportunities. Of course there are no resources. What do you expect them to do?
Yeah.
You check. But then our goal and our duty is to educate. Imagine this is the situation. Our parents, like generation A level, those people, they still have a particular information about the system or the service or so. They are not, it's our duty to go and educate them or, this is how it works, things like this, blah, 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 blah. You can, as the technology is evolving, as the knowledge is becoming, more easily accessible and things like that, our duty is to use whatever resources to build our townships. And then because now once we build them, you see how the rate of unemployment. It's too much.
It's too much.
And
everyone is trying to sell something. Everyone wa rekisa. Ha o ka wa sheba no le social media ngata, bo di TikTok bo di ho solid business one way. People are selling, people are marketing because they see hore taba ya apply la msebetsi ha e sa spana. So apply mfethu ha e sebetsi.
But we also need to assist the government in so saying, by us being products of our townships, by us being the resources of our townships. We don't have to have money. If you have the knowledge that, you know what, I'm doing, maybe like for myself, I'm doing financial planning. What I can do, I can go for organizations that focuses more on financial literacy. That is what I can do. And not only me, we do have other financial planners who can do the very same thing. What will that do? You educate the people how to manage their finances. The little they get, they can do a change in their lives. And we teach them on living a quality of life. And then from that, then you can take it from there. Okay, now we are contributing to a working society.
Yeah.
So to demonize the lifestyle changes, Josie that's not how we need to think about this. We need to think about this in a way that it calls for, like, we need to like move from the mentality of, hey guys, people are destroying this. We need to teach them, guys, if we're destroying this, if this is the mechanisms that you are applying, we are going to destroy whatever facilities that the government is employing or deploying in the townships.
Yeah.
And the people look at this thing, or they look at us and they think we are better. And also we need to give them that benefit of the doubt. Or no, we've just went to the universities, we've studied, but you're not better than you. What we've acquired, we're going to come and use it in the townships. And that, my friend, is a working society. That one, Kionelo ranking, is going to help us deal with a lot of situations. Because
what do you think of this? The shop tsetso na tsetsa ma Pakistan tsetsa tsa mokasi tse, because ke ba bona tsona di a thola support a go tluwa maka at di a thola support di bana ke ana di ka compete le bo di shop right. So and how ka wa thola sheba ne, the reason why ke botsa what do you think of those tag shops ne is because we've all noticed that they've been trending ka taba tsa hore most of the things that they sell are fakes, where they can be cokes, whatever. It's been trending on social media. And as in totse bona di stop and totse because le video tsa teng ha di monate wa bona ba rekisa bo mazimba a fake and bana ba reka ba rekisa bo dikhuku tsa fake batho ba reka, but people keep on support batho ba instead of buy maybe bo shop right or buy guy. So what do like unana way is it okay for them to keep on operating, or there is a better way to deal with situations, because
That one is it's two ways. You keep them out of the townships. You let the people go to ShopRite. You've solved the situation, eh? But do they afford, the products in the goods and services in ShopRite? It's a lot of but I think they can. They do afford that.
According my opinion, but support tuck shop it's because of convenience. Like I'm a tuck shop next door. I'm fit to get a coke. Why am I parliament taxi ShopRite? I think it's because of convenience. Yeah, I'm fit to whatever that I need. I'm gonna get a gas pretty. Okay, I'm not to gear. Hi. 500 kaminyana ikai ka next door.
Yeah.
Why da? So motho etsa o tswa fa o ema a Pick n Pay. That's why hence go sheba. O go sheba dikasi ngata no. But Pick n Pay body ShopRite. Ke se ba zamme we installer phakathi inside. O di bona ba ntse ba di kenya bo ShopRite. Ha ba etse e kgolo. Ba etsa fela bo di mini what body you save or kgone we. But still we are not going there. And I believe we can afford ya because into price da the price da batho mfethu I want a difference egalo.
A difference and happy whenever inflated the price and happy most of them are sure thing fact check like I check marabona akitse contribute whole into the economic apo have contribute. It's something that we can check. These people, we give them an opportunity to barekisa the products that are fake in the neighborhood. And do they contribute to the economy? And what are we saying to the quality of life? They consuming those.
Exactly, sure.
But I don't know. That one I feel like I don't want to kidwele more because to say sharp or to say sharp, people use whatever available, the availability in terms of facilities sitting in the townships. That's why I would tell her there are some townships since it was Spanisadi pit toilet.
Yeah, hey, Nikile Alexandra. I think it was my second time kikena kakasiyo. Oh, I wabona Alex. On those Spanish are those pit toilets. And hey, active banka na kai by batu kala da. Cause all fit da.
Small. No, I don't know. But what we can focus on, the solutions are just going back to those townships, becoming resourceful. Just try and change the mentality because when they look at you, you think you are better, you think you made it. You're not part of us, you're not living with us. Of which I do understand. You can never say, like the brand go China or maybe Orexa brand you don't know how to you want the support from these people, but what are you doing to support back to the community? Give that support back to the community. And that mindset needs to change, and because of those who call themselves the academia, the scholar, the what with so-called knowledge that they have, not so-called, obviously they do have knowledge. They need to use that to the township, and let's change the mindsets in the townships. Let's be more involved in.
Although it won't like obviously you can't change a mentality to Abatuakasi just like that. But like you say, being responsible and certain things. Changing one person is a difference. Like talking to someone about change the way I operate or responsibility. It makes a difference.
And this is painful, Buffett, especially to those that like you are a hope in your family, but then you let the big city consume you. You're not going back to the township. You owe it to yourself to go to last side to the whole township. What's about township thing? Witchcraft. I can't say. Familiar how it's a show, so I can take the names like Yapla to say familiar, to say Maka, to say Mamma, what's a lang, to say, understand? So the big part, core, but once you made it, you make it out of what you call it, townships and rural places, and you tend to forget, or I've acquired this knowledge. I need to go back to use this knowledge because we get so caught up into our corporate lifestyles, and when I also didn't need to suit, you're focusing on the company that you're working for, and that's all. It ends there. But how about you take some of the knowledge for free of charge?
What you say?
Okay, and there are sponsored organizations that the government is trying to like highlight on, to put people on, to upskill people through. You can be part of those organizations.
Yeah.
To say that's the only thing you can do.
Yeah.
And also we need to influence people to education. I feel like it's something that people need to like not take it for granted, especially our, but they need us as role models to go to those schools. The importance of education, even though there's like a lot of unemployment rate, things like that, but we need to find solutions. We need to solve one problem at a time. And this system, if the government is doing the job, we are doing the job, and the society will start doing the job, and it will become more and more and more easy. But this is just like something because people now we can't trust the politicians. They are corrupt, but little politicians themselves. Hey man, hot man.
No, mfethu. Just closure nje, shortly. Like we spoke about community well-being.
Yeah.
What is one thing that you can say you've noticed, and then you feel like inka like karolo e kgolo, like the one thing that you've noticed more town, and inka karolo e kgolo mo kasi, and there is a difference, like maybe it can look iswa, and then things can be better. Just one thing. Ki difference we bone we noticing, and you feel like it can look iswa more than it's a buyer.
No man, not working. All the town, no. You act according, or maybe you are principled to act in a certain way. You won't just destroy the infrastructure, you won't just destroy the parks. You don't have that entitlement to do that. And I feel like Batubakasi.
So basically like when we work like the infrastructures and the resources. Okay.
So if we can have that same behavior, like the township, we deploy that behavior. You don't have to destroy it. So the government is trying to help. The government is trying to do this, and later on now we're trying to. So that behavior, I can say because we're king, but then I think behavior.
So
it's our duty to go and educate people. Or if we don't fix that, we'll continue destroying the facilities, still ranking. So that's all I can say. It's what I've picked up as the difference, and I feel like it can be fixed. That one.
True. No, Tebza, just want to say thank you for making time, and thank you for that information that you've shared with us. It is quite inspirational. Like I said, we're here to inspire and to actually learn. Most important, like the earbook, this podcast, I tend to believe we talk about things that we know, things that we experience. Like we don't talk about someone who does mola mamiti. Why it's mara. That's why most of the topics are based on the things that we know, but I feel like we still have a lot to learn. So I believe, Linda, I've learned some things based on what you've said, and I just want to thank you for your time, because I know probably you might have some other things, but you chose more the earbook. And I wish you nothing but success and greatness, and that everything that
Sure.
So just Teboho Mosala, the defense yearbook.
I know defense yearbook. That was me. That was my 2 cents. Some of the things those are just my opinions. Some of the things is the life that I've experienced, and I'm here, and I'm happy to be sharing those things with you as the community, as the yearbook. And I'm grateful and I'm honored to be here. And whatever that you are disagreeing with, don't take it. Whatever you're agreeing with, take it.
Yeah.
But I was just, we were just having a conversation about the things that we are aware of, things that we've lived off. And that, for me, I think, and then I love the podcast, and I wish nothing but the best for you.
Thank you.
Should
Thank
continue.
you.
You should continue, raising this awareness, speaking about the things that, you're aware of and everyone is aware of. I feel like it is a unique, podcast, and I wish nothing but growth to see it grow to the next level.
No, thank you so much.
Just me.
This is your host, Buffalo Bacha. I was with the awesome Teboho Mosala, and this is the earbook. We are out.